I think the other one was also okay. Fine. It's okay. Should I start this? Yeah, please, please.
Ready? Yeah. Okay, good afternoon. I would first of all like to thank everyone who's present here today. So students, professor, and our chief guest, of course, Ms. Pushp Gupta. So as most of you already know, the workshop today is on the topic, is mediation a viable career option? Now, as a trend in law school, we have seen that several students believe that arguing or litigating is the only part of our job. However, it is also important to understand that mediation and other ADR processes are equally important in resolving a dispute. Several students, as part of the ADR society, into the bar in 1994. She also holds an LLM from the University of Northumbria, Newcastle, United Kingdom, in EC Commercial Laws. A mediator at the Honorable Supreme Court, Delhi High Court, and the Delhi District Court, she possesses more than 10 years of experience and has mediated over 500 cases. She possesses mediation certificates from leading institutions such as the International Mediation Institute, Hague, Netherlands, and Indian Institute of Corporate Affairs, Ministry of Corporate Affairs, Government of India. As a trained mediator, as well as a lead trainer in the Indo-British Advocacy Skills Project, she has not only trained more than 800 lawyers across India in advocacy skills, but has also instructed in training programs for various judicial officers and continues to conduct various awareness programs throughout India on the importance of ADR mechanisms. She is also representing as counsel for the Government of India, Ministry of Environment and Forest at the National Green Tribunal, New Delhi. Most recently, she has been conducting workshops and heads the group E-Mediation Writings as coordinator-in-chief. The first e-magazine of India, which is dedicated to mediation and has seen over 15 editions released until early 2022. And with that, I would like to welcome Advocate Pushp Gupta onto the stage.
Thank you, Ria. Happy International Day to everyone here, those who are here with me physically and those who are there online. But first of all, I would like to thank especially to Sakshi for calling me here, Professor Shirinjeet for inviting me to be part of this, and Professor Rajkumar sir for inviting me to this august institution. I think I'll be taking back many things to learn, to explore in my life as a mediator, because it's an evolving process. And thanks to our professors sitting there, who I can very well say they are like now my friends in my life, in my journey as mediation. Thank you so much for joining. So students, today we are here for a specific purpose, which is a topic, is mediation a viable career option? So during the program, I would only just request you to please keep rereading this topic, because we may have to rephrase it. We may have to. There's many things which this phrase itself say, this topic itself say, and there are big question marks on put across inside and outside this topic itself, which you might be thinking why this topic is made. So let's just begin our journey for today on this topic. So before I proceed, I would like to know from you what, according to you, you understand a career is. Anybody can volunteer, and I think if you're becoming an advocate in future, then you need to come up and just be ready with speaking. What do you think of career is? Any? You can take off your mask. Yeah, but please come. Please introduce yourself. Stand up, please. That's wonderful. That's perfectly fine. And anybody else? Okay, that's one part of it. So the career has two dimensions, which I think Gurpreet, you said Gurpreet? Gurpreet. So that's perfectly fine. One is like you gain knowledge, you gain education, a basic educational qualification. It could be any qualification, education for a dream which you want to pursue. That's from any institution. It can be skilled training, it can be for unskilled worker, not necessarily LLB, any carpenter, hairstylist, anybody can have to have that basic training and knowledge and education in that. So the second aspect of career is which goes beyond this and which goes while you're studying, while you're pursuing your career, your experiences, your actions, your post, whatever you gain through this journey to fulfill your career, to make it a success. Education certainly is very important, but a lot of things you learn through your experiences, positions you hold while you're doing your jobs. So that is career, not just your LLB, but what you're going to gain after this LLB will make you what you want to be. So that is what career is, a blend of. So then I have another question. You'll say, ma'am is here to share her views and now she's putting across questions to us. But let me just ask, why did you choose LLB? I can see smiles on your face. You want to say something. So just come out and share. Why do you want to do LLB? Was it by force or was it by choice or was it like an option? You're not happy with your LLB? So all your faculty members definitely will take your class and say that you don't have any answer, that why did you join LLB? Yes, please. Correct. So for you, it's still an option then? If you are not happy with LLB, then you'll just go for some other? There are a lot of even. Yes, that is correct, because I was checking with Akanksha how many subjects you're made to study while you're in LLB. So there are some mandatory as per Bar Council 28, 26, then there are elective courses. So on an average, you go through 50, 60 subjects in this 5 years of your LLB course, which makes you eligible for your LLB degree and then get yourself enrolled with Bar Council, either to become a lawyer or to become an advocate. This is what is LLB. Do you know the difference between a lawyer and an advocate? So there are two heads nodding in yes, you know. So you can please get up and you can come forward and say, what's your name, and please.
My name is Gauri. A lawyer is somebody who is trained in law, who has qualifications, academic qualifications in law, and an advocate is somebody who represents a client in court.
Perfect, perfect. That is a perfect description and distinction between a lawyer and an advocate. Yes, an advocate is also a lawyer, but that's being a lawyer, you have to have a basic qualification of LLB. And the purpose of a lawyer is to advise, you know, to advise a client a person needing an advice as to whether he should go, where he should go, and when he should go. That's the job of lawyer. So once he decides that I need to go to court, then the advocate comes in, and then the wakalatnama is filed, and then presenting an argument begins. Pleadings and all, it takes course. Okay. So what all qualities should a lawyer or an advocate should have to become a successful or an effective professional? Are there any skills? Are there any qualification, experience, qualities which a person should have to become a lawyer, successful, competent? Yes, please. Correct. Correct. And so what's your name? Arjun. Okay, Arjun, so you said orator. One has to be orator. There has to be confidence levels. Does these being an orator or having a confidence require some communication skills? Are you taught this in communication skill in your LLB course? Is there a subject? Is there a subject on communication? Not really. Do you realize the power of communication in your day-to-day life? Can we survive without communication to ourselves or to our outside world? No. So communication is the lifeline. You know, when we have two human beings in society, there ought to be a communication, be it any communication. It can be, there are forms of communication. We are not here for a training on in mediation, but telling you the importance, taking you towards mediation, that what is the big difference between imbibing mediation into your life. So yes, that is one. So you gain 5 years, that's a degree. Though hats off to this institution, they give you a lot what we were not offered when we did law. Our law was basically a degree, which was based on dukis. But through you, there are internships offered. You take placements while doing law. You take extracurricular activities. You participate in moot court mediation competition. These all enhance your communication skills, which a lawyer and an advocate certainly has to, because you are the voice of your client. So to be a voice of someone, you have to have command on your communication skills. Even if when a client engages you, you're communicating with them. How you should communicate, that's an art. When you're presenting an argument in court or presenting an application or presenting a case before a judge, it needs communication. So that has to be conscious communication. So whenever a client approaches you, certainly he is there in some conflict. Conflict is part of our society, day in and out, be within family, at workplace, with our friends, with our relatives, within the organization, with your teachers, with your seniors, you have conflict. Conflict is what, as per you? Yes, Arjun. Miscommunication. That's the gist of it. Yes, miscommunication about. Yes, please. Correct, correct. So if you have some disagreement on any issue, it can be any views, opinions, or anything. It's basically conflict is miscommunication of your views to the opposite side. So that's what Arjun. What's your name? Arshil. Harshul. So that's what the answer is. So if a client approaches you, they are in conflict. Correct. That's wonderful answer. Difference in opinion, any disagreement, differences do lead to disagreement. If you don't resolve a difference, then it leads to a disagreement. And then we see that how it gets escalated into a dispute, a problem, dispute, and then conflict. There are stages. Yes, Gauri, you have to say something. Correct. Yes. So then then it comes interest. If there can be two different interests. So if somebody is trying to trespass on an interest and you have a right, you have an entitlement towards that interest, and there is a threat to that, then there is a conflict. Yes, there is a conflict. So many people deal by themselves. They have different ways of dealing with conflict. Some people we have in books. Again, I'll just shortly take you to the many people avoid it. Many people try to deal with it by just sitting across, talking. Many times people are very competitive, they are collaborative. So it's all part of dealing with conflict. Whether you want to ignore and completely avoid, whether you want to adjust with the person with whom you are in conflict with, whether you want to compromise or whether you have to be assertive. So it all depends how. But if they reaches a position wherein they themselves cannot handle a conflict, and it has reached a stage where it needs redressal, it needs a resolution, and they come to you. You are now an advocate, you are enrolled with bar, so they come to you, they come with their brief, whatever documents are there with you, what all you're going to deliberate with them when a client approaches you, how you would proceed. If a client approaches in your chamber, what all you will go into to know as to where and when, how it happened. What is the duty of a lawyer when a client approaches and he says, yes, there is a problem, please help me? You will facilitate there. So what's your name? Harshit. So Harshit, that shows your desire. Maybe you are a person who doesn't want to go, you won't advise your clients to go for a court corridors for litigation. So when you're using this word facilitate or talk, when you're establishing, that means that there is an inner echo inside you, that you are a person who look for peace building, who look for something, not for being aggressive, competitive for what you need, but you want people to sit and talk for a dialogue. That's one. Supposingly, it's just a nascent stage. They've just come. That this is what my problem is. What should I do? So what all you will look into his case before you advise him? Yes. 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 Correct. Yes. Yes. That's another way of looking at it. Correctly, you said yes. If a client approaches you, you will look into the case, their needs, what exactly they want, what are their interests, and how that can be resolved, where you have to guide them. So you're already aware about mediation, so you're using this and then you'll guide them to go for mediation. But there are advocates who are still unaware, who don't know what is mediation, power of mediation. So generally what they do is, like, if a client approaches, our duty as an advocacy, advocacy teaches us that we first listen to them. This is a heavy loaded word, listen, which has come from him, which has its own meaning. Listening is not just hearing. It involves your involvement, complete attention towards a speaker as to what verbally they are saying and what they intend to convey through their message to us. So we have to take that. So if a client approaches, we ask them, okay, you tell your problem. Then once they tell their problems, we look through the law, which law is applicable. He said, we look for strength and weaknesses of the case, whether how much he will get relief, in what time he'll get it, and where to go. Whether it's a case for suit, whether it's a case for writ petition, or whether it's a case for any other application, whether it's a case of still waiting, or you need to send a legal notice. So you start preparing accordingly. You make notes of the case and advise them. Fine. Supposingly you advise your client, okay, that the only remedy is to go to the court, to fight for litigation, go for litigation. You must have visited courtroom during your internships. Have you seen that, like, the parties are sitting just on the back benches, and who advocate their case? It is their lawyers. And who ultimately decides what you need is person sitting here on this chair, a judge. What you need, what is right for you, you are putting it for some third person to decide. That is what litigation is. That is what the fortune of litigation or journey of litigation is. that if you advise, we are not saying that we are averse to the fact that our judicial officers, our justices, they have contributed a lot to wherever we are today. Successful litigations have also been dealt in timely manner. Yes, we are saying that. But today in the morning, there was a conference in Gujarat, National Conference on Mediation and Information Technology, wherein our Chief Justice of India, he again reiterated the need of mediation, that negotiation and mediation should be made compulsory as part of case management. And then we have a mediation bill coming. Our law minister also reiterated that country will be gifted. It's before parliamentary stand. So that is what the power of mediation. Our judiciary is doing that. This is what happens when the judges support a system which you otherwise is convinced that it is here to stay. But if you get a sanctity or a stamp or a certificate from someone on the judicial bench, then it really means a lot. It spreads a message. So they're fighting. Ultimately, a judgment comes and order comes. It comes in favor of both the parties or one party? One party. So then you have an appellate structure also, which ends up till Supreme Court. Whosoever can afford in time and cost, they go up to Supreme Court. So you have one person winning. We always say one person wins in litigation. But we never ever thought that even an advocate also wins and loses. When we sit in canteen, yes, just day before yesterday, we were having lunch together. So one of my friends said, this week has been losing week for me. I've been losing all my briefs. So not just the client loses in a litigation, but even advocate. Many advocates are immune to a fact, okay, yeah, chalta firta, it happens, you win, lose, fine. But it definitely touches upon your performance and credibility also, whether you are called as successful, competent lawyer or a designated advocate, the more you have successful rates. So when we are in this journey of litigation, we are also loser if we advise. So we have to see whether to advise or not with this mediation or ADR mechanism. During the internship period, all of you must have gone and you maintain a diary. Can you please tell me during that 1 month or 4 months, whatever is the period of your internship, how many effective dates do you note in a diary of an advocate? Your expression speaks louder than your words. So I would like to interpret that, yes. How many effective dates you've attended with your mentor while doing internship? Okay. 2 days. Okay, that's completely fine. Many times, you cannot predict as to whether it will happen or not, but many dates are just for pleadings. Many times it's adjournment on personal grounds. Many times it may be some inconvenience of the bench or it's Passover. So there are a few ineffective dates also. The energy and time you put across, lawyers do charge per appearance also. I'm not saying in mediation they don't charge per appearance, but many times the diary is filled with dates which are ineffective. So when you walk through the corridors of court, you will see lawyers with a huge list in their hand. And what is that? We call it they are busy without work, just to give an impression that they have matters. But most of them are either regular list, most of them are like 100 in the cause list number, which will not come, but just you have to make your presence felt that you are a lawyer in High Court or you're a lawyer in District Court or any other court. You are being watched during online court system also or physical. When you present a matter in courtroom, you are being watched. Who watches your performance? Can you tell? Yes, Gauri. Yes. Who else? Correct. 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 And you yourself also watch yourself. Huh? Many times advocates have a tendency of looking back, when they present an argument and he feels that it's really nice, they look back and see whether he's being applauded by the audience sitting behind that the presentation came with. So a lot of things are at stake when you're in court, when you're presenting as an advocate with your communication skills, orator skills. That is what Arjun has said. Yes, you need that with confidence. Taking an adjournment, I was sharing with my friends. Yes, taking an adjournment is also a task in initial years. Though now things have changed, our generation next, they're arguing beautifully all the matters, flagging the annexures, going with precedents, judgments in their hand. They have counter arguments. They know how to neutralize the weaknesses of their client's case. So you're so well equipped. So hats off to institutions like OPG in the global university. They really make you, they polish you before you jump into that pool of lawyers, which is a black and white word. I always say that mediation fills color in that black and white word. So this is what mediation, let's see how it fills color, but we'll proceed further. So as we were saying, it goes to an appellate structure and then it goes to Supreme Court. Tell me when finally it's decided from the last court, does the conflict get resolved? It's resolved finally between the parties? You say? Yes. Correct. Correct. So that is why I pressed red against that resolve. It's not yet resolved. It's just you have to accept a verdict which has come. You have to accept that's law. You cannot do anything. This is litigation. It's still the conflict will remain. Only the litigation gets decided. The what relief you ask for, there is a judgment from in favor of one person which you get, and you have to accept it, whatever it be. Relationships are at stake during the litigation, and once the verdict comes, I don't think so after a verdict you will again see parties hugging each other. Oh yes, one has won, one has lost. I have not seen that scene except in divorce by mutual consent, where couples after mutual divorce are also happy and shaking hands, and they say let's be friends after this. That's different. So what is mediation? Any one of you aware of this mediation while you were taught? I was told that you have a subject on ADR. So are you aware of what is mediation? So I'm not going into arbitration and all. So mediation, what according to you, you have an understanding what is mediation? We'll quickly glance through what is mediation so that it matches up to what we are going to just go further on this. Any idea? Come, please. Yes, please come forward. Tell. Beer.
Being a voice between two conflicting parties.
Yes.
And help the couple understand.
Correct. So you have to be a voice for the parties and understanding. So yes, that's very good. Good expression. Yes, please.
Mediation is a process where we persuade parties to actually talk and to come out with everything they have in their mind and everything that they have.
Wonderful.
So that once they are out of that stage, we can figure out that, okay, what is the problem and how to deal with that. Because in litigation, what happens is that they don't talk.
Mhm. This is visible because then I come to this location. It's not picking up. It's okay. So we already know what is mediation. So just for a definition, we can read this, that mediation is an alternative to traditional court process in order to resolve disputes. Mediation is the process by which a neutral third party or mediator assists people to resolve their dispute and reach a voluntary settlement. So that has to be voluntary. A mediator is not a judge. He or she helps people negotiate a fair settlement of their dispute. Then we have other definitions also, which speaks about it's a flexible process. Yes, it is. The last line is ultimate control of the decision to settle in terms that's with the parties. So you empower them. You empower them for their own problems. You empower them to come out with solutions. That is what the beauty is, that if you need something, you can be your own judge. You can assess as to what you need and how you need and when you need. So that's completely in your hand. So we also call mediation an assisted negotiation. We keep doing negotiations in our day-to-day life. Everybody is doing for morning till evening. There are things we are doing. It's negotiation maybe for our own requirement. It is there. But when you do it with the help of third party, that is, if a mediator you appoint, it's an assisted negotiation. There is this qualified mediator who says that the client has the answer to their problem. And it is our role to bring forth those moments of awareness and revelation. That's the duty of a mediator. So this, why I'm using, because that face-to-face is courtroom and this face-to-face is what mediation setting is. We've already used these three words. See, mediation is completely a structured process where there are stages which has their own purpose for getting information and then just going ahead. A mediator is equipped with many skills which he or she uses during that process and stages to facilitate the communication between the parties. So that if the communication is on throughout the mediation, then certainly they will reach to a solution. But if that communication is kept, it's dead, then you cannot reach any settlement. You may, after a few sittings in mediation with the help of a mediator, you may find that it is still not the right time to sit in mediation for an amicable resolution. But when you come out of mediation sessions, after a few sittings, the client will definitely realize that what they were carrying 100% as conflict, now the conflict has reduced to a significant lesser percentage, that may be 40-60. So they can now then focus whether should they go for this 50-60 for litigation, or they can go for any other ADR mechanism, or they should wait for a time. So never ever we say that mediation gets failed. It can be unsuccessful at that time, but it never fails. You achieve something by sitting in mediation, participating in mediation, certainly. And there are certain mediation conducts to ground rules and ethics. I saw in your library, I was complimenting Sakshi ma'am that it was good to see that you have so many books on ethics and professional ethics, which is a rare sight for me to find. So please go through those books. That's the foundation for anything. And lawyers are always accused that they are liars. So just please go through a few pages of ethics, because this will go a long mile in making you a successful advocate. And additionally, a mediator or a mediation advocacy also you can incorporate. So these are the qualities of a mediator, that he has to be neutral, impartial, non-judgment. And he helps party in negotiation, as I said, is assisted negotiation. There are two ways Like our Chief Justice of India in the morning said that let's negotiation and mediation help be there as mandatory in case management. So in mediation, we manage a conflict. There are stages. As I think you said, Harshil, you know? Harshil. So, sorry. So it was like case management. Whenever a party comes in mediation, it is initially the mediator for herself also, just try to manage by knowing as to what is they are looking for, what is their case, what are their needs and their interest. So he gather information, he make them understand each other, whether then they agree to disagree, because earlier they were not communicating at all. But with the help of a mediator, with that rapport he builds up with the parties at least agree to sit in mediation room. So he manages the conflict first before he goes to the stage of a resolution. Resolution involves generation of options, then viewing, accepting the other side view also, their perspective, understanding the reality test and all. There are things which are part of training, but that's a resolution. Then they say, okay, yes, we are ready for amicable settlement, but let's look through as to what is suitable for us, how both of us can have something which makes both of us happy from this mediation. That's a conflict resolution part of mediation. You simply cannot sit for conflict resolution if you don't manage. Management involves venting of emotion, as he rightly said, that parties have to just come out, just throw everything outside, share what is there in their heart. Because many times the client approaches us, we can, okay, na, yeah, that's you told, na, I'll deal. I know law. Vakil main hu, aap ho, main bolu. So there are many things which are unsaid in their heart. We ask them not to come up with that. But in mediation, we ask them, if you go in mediation room, there is a sitting arrangement where we always prefer that parties sit in the front row, that on left and right, there are parties first, then relatives, and then the advocates. Because it is their place. It is their place. They have to come out as to what they want to achieve from mediation. It's completely different setup. So what a mediator does, mediator empowers them, builds an understanding. He makes them understand that please don't attack a person. If you have a problem, go to the root of that problem. Don't attack him or her, but see what is the problem for that person's behavior or conduct, which you need to correct. Mutual understanding, peaceful atmosphere, amicable. Then they shift conflict from finger pointing, I said, shaming, blaming and all. You have to be empathetic to each other. Then they diffuse tension, manage emotion, facilitate open discussions. Like when you vent out your emotions, allow them to vent out, because every need has emotions under the surface. So please allow them, whether if they want to, shout, if they want to cry, with certain ground rules, not that they can just scream and howl and no, but with certain ground rules, please allow them to express themselves. Identifying interest, needs and wants. When we go for an elaborate workshop or a training, then you'll come to know that in courts, we litigate for rights. I am right, these are my rights. But in mediation, we sit for that, I need this. Why I need and how I need this, please help me do that. So that is what mediation is. It speaks more about your needs, your interest, underlying interest. Wants are negotiable, but needs are not negotiable. Identify, where are the barriers, which are the speed breakers which are coming. Mediator has those skills wherein he allows them to deal with those barriers, how that can be dealt with. That's again, they remain focused on what they are looking for. They evaluate their case with weaknesses, strength, future prospect. If they don't accept an offer which is there on table, if they go to litigation, how much in terms of time, money it's going to cost. There are many things which are attached. So they'll evaluate and assess the offers on table. You get a beautiful skill in mediation, reading body. Its body has its own language. It speaks volume. In 24/7, I don't think we are every time talking. Many times we are talking through our body. We're expressing through our body. When I am talking to you right now, you are not responding till the time I invite you to respond or you raise your hand. But from your expressions, I can make out who all are interested here and who all are listening to me and who all are just pretending. I don't see any of the faces, but yes, thanks to you guys that you all are alert and you're attending. I can read that. So that's a respect you are giving to this chair and to this platform. Thanks to you. So that's something very wonderful, which mediation, to read a body language. It's just 7%. While we are communicated through words, we communicate 7%. But rest of the things are all non-verbal. How we speak, in what volume, pitch, how we convey, our body language, our gestures, postures, facial expression, everything counts for communication. It's lovebirds sitting in a park. They are not talking. They're just looking into each other's eye. So they're conveying their love, their bond for each other. So that's communication. So mediation, I've never, like in my profession, when I joined mediation, I was already, I would say maybe 14 or 15-year-old in this profession when I joined mediation. But I never thought that body language has so much of communication. Then I realized now it has impacted me so much that even outside mediation, I start reading everyone through body, and sometimes I miss what they are conveying me verbally. So that's a mistake which I do, which I should not be doing. But yes, it makes you understand how a person deals with. Yes, you have something to share, please. Please, you can ask right now if you can. It will make it really interactive. This is what we are looking for.
All right. So, yes.
Please introduce. Yes,
Talking to us about mediation. My name is Jessica Varghese. I'm a four-year law student here.
Welcome.
When I look at dispute resolution, a lot of it is very clean area of old wise men.
Yes.
The panchayat system, the kings,
Yes.
and now the judges. And with how much mediation has changed in India.
Yes.
I wanted to kind of understand the role of law students and otherwise students in how we can revolutionize this
Certainly.
system of dispute resolution to incorporate ourselves into it. So yeah, what can law students or otherwise people that are looking to get into mediation start off about? So kind of just the rephrasing of the question, mediation or why?
Yes. So that's lovely coming from Yashika. This is what I'm here for. And we are looking for an answer to this only. Yes, what it has to offer to you at a stage when you're a law student. So I'll take you to that through certain steps. Just have patience. Just bear with me for a few more minutes. And definitely I'll answer your concern. That is what I think I should be doing and I should be dealing with, and I'll definitely deal with that. So this is all the qualities, like you have the collaborative approach, then you have a creative thinking. Many times we think that the solution is that simple. We've been thinking those linear things, that there is only one solution, but you can create out of box thinking also. Solution can be generated. If there are 4 solutions here, 4 here, that's not acceptable. They can merge, amalgamate, they can create anything else, expansion of anything. So it can be from outside resources. So that creativity comes the moment you participate in mediation, be it as a mediator or a litigant or a lawyer in mediation. So it teaches you that also. It builds relationship. Parties come to mutually benefit outcomes, which serves their interest. Yes. So any type of matter, we have had a judgment from Supreme Court AFCON's judgment, which clearly gave us the description, illustrative description as to what are the cases suitable and unsuitable for mediation. So that you can go through. It's a judgment. I think you're already aware of that. I can see that from your expression. So till now we've heard about, mostly we always feel that mediation is about court and ex mediation. Private mediation is yet not there in our society, because people feel that nobody comes to a lawyer for a private mediation. They simply come and take advice and go. Like in foreign countries, if you have a consultation, you have a meter on wherein you charge for legal consultancy also. But in India, we also generally feel, okay, they just come for an advice. And if you're a mediator, then during advice, you practically give them some solution that please go for this talk, go for a dialogue, just meet your counterpart, this can happen. So you in a way advise them also when they approach you for some resolution, for some remedy. And then we have pre-lit mediations. Private Private is what? A pre-lit mediation. Before you're going to a corridor, you can think of private mediation, sitting with the mediator. That is pre-lit. Now that's been introduced through various laws, amendments, regulations here in India. We have in Companies Act 442 section, then section 12A in Commercial Code, then in RERA, then in MSME, where we have facilitation councils and mediation and conciliation panels, consumer forum. It's everywhere, happening. It's everywhere it is happening. You become a conciliator also when you're doing mediation. There is a difference between mediation and mediator and a conciliator. You know that, again, I can make that out that there's hardly anything which you are not aware of, but I have to answer that query for which I am here, Yashika. So do I need to tell you a difference between a conciliator, or you're aware of this? You're aware of a difference, huh? Can you tell what is that difference?
For neutral party, but what happens is the parties assist in when you move a conciliation, the parties assist in arriving at a solution, and after both the parties agree and it is signed, then it becomes equivalent to an arbitral award. Then the agreement can be enforced equivalent to an arbitral award. So that's the difference. But the whole process of arriving at the solution is not conciliator, like both the parties assist in arriving at the solution.
There's a slight addition and difference to how you're expressing. Conciliation, all mediations are conciliation. It's part of mediation, but conciliation has an extra edge over mediation. A conciliator can give them solutions also, can prescribe them, suggest them, recommend solution, but a mediator cannot. So that is a difference, which makes it, there is a proactive role in conciliation. Then in mediation, there are boundaries within which we have to facilitate the dialogue and dispute resolution. So that is a thin line which we have to obey while we are conciliating, or if we are sitting as mediator or participating in conciliation or mediation. When you get used to this mediation, you will realize that it introduces to you to a new stream, that is mediation advocacy. When you go to court, you prepare your notes. You have already drafted a plaint, you have drafted written statement, rejoinder, application, you have done that. But when you are going there for an argument, you make your notes. You do preparation. Without preparation, you don't go. But the preparation which you need to participate in mediation is different. Because as somebody said, an advocate presents an argument. So mediation, we can say that it's solving an argument. If you have to solve, then you have to be realistic. You have to develop an understanding towards the other side needs and interests. So you learn the role of an advocate is completely different when he is sitting in mediation. Mediation has stages. When you participate, you have to sit with your client as to this is what you're going to speak in mediation. This is going to be your initial offer. Don't play your cards, everything in your first meeting. Let's see what other side has to say. Then slowly we'll do. So that there is pre-mediation stage, during mediation, and after mediation, advocates have a significant role and contribution to this. And they'll learn only when they'll participate in mediation, or they know about mediation. So mediation teaches you behavioral skills. Understanding, I think you need for your day-to-day life. You need good communication, yes, not just for your profession, but for your personal needs, for your personal relation also. Listening, empathetic view, not attacking anyone, just understanding. So these are all which help us in our day-to-day living also, vis-a-vis our personal life, vis-a-vis our professional. So mediation gives you all this. There are many, I'll take you 2 slides which will tell you what mediation offers you to change you as a person. There's so much to offer. Only you have to experience to be, to feel what mediation is. Yes. Yeah, yes. So all this, whatever I have shared with you till now, your LLB takes you to 5 years course with 60 subjects. And what I shared with you in minuscule about mediation, it is only just 40 hours of your life. Till now, we don't have any other certificate course or any other certification or a degree course in mediation except 40 hours of your life, which makes to 1.6666 days in your life. Nothing else, and it will transform. 5 years, yes, those are must. And this mediation, I'm saying 40 hours, I'll take you to streams. Yes, even if you're a doctor, even if you're you're a painter, you're a hairstylist, you're an architect, or you're a chartered accountant, or you're a builder, whatever, you will realize that this 40 hours, I will say that everybody whosoever is into any profession, into any stream business should go in their life, once in their life, to this 40 hours training. We keep looking into news channel these days that in Ukraine war, for that, many countries have offered to mediate. Not everybody can mediate. Yes, we have the desire, we say we use word mediate, but if you go through 40 hours training, the mediation will be effective. Doing mediation without 40 hours has different result. Not everybody can do that. If you do 40 hours training, you can effectively mediate. So that is the power. So when I see news flashing on channels that this country has offered to mediate, so I ask them whether they have gone for 40 hours, because if they have failed, maybe they failed because they've not gone through 40 hour skills and techniques which you are taught in training. So it empowers you with many toolkit, which helps to mediate and facilitating the dialogue between two conflicting parties. So yes, all FCON judgment, you're already available, suitable. So now I'm slowly coming to what Yashika and this topic of the day today is. To give a name of a mediation, a line, an option, or a career as mediation, I think it's a small term. Once you go through this training, mediation, you'll realize that you actually become a conflict resolution specialist with passage of time. But you become a conflict resolution specialist, which can be, now I'm talking about careers. See, every profession needs patience and faith. It's not that the moment you'll do law, you'll have a roaring practice. If you don't have a legal background, you don't have people from same line in your family, you have to do. Even with same line, you have to prove your potential, not that you've given something on platter and you'll do. You have to perform in court. You have to deliver to be get noticed. So that is even in advocacy. In mediation also, once you go through this 40 hours training, you will see that what it teaches you. You can deal with community disputes. In community dispute mediations, it's not necessary that all disputes should have person should have a legal knowledge. There are very small petty matters in our resident welfare societies, even in our partnership firms. Many times it's just between the employees' ego issues. There are many things happening. There are different religion organizations, caste, or they're based on caste, that they have their own segment wherein people sit, some senior citizen of society sit across and do that. They can deliver better as their job of mediating if they know these skills under 40 hours. So community dispute, community mediations, yes, anybody can do that. Not a lawyer just, but anybody can do into community mediation. Workplace disputes, employees, salary issues, duty hours, anything. School peer mediation within your age group. In schools also we have problem. In college you must be having a problem. Why do you need a mediator from outside? If you're aware of the skill, you may yourself will be able to deliver, handle your own problem. If you know how to talk to a person without attacking my friend, I can talk to her, okay, let's sit. Let's talk to each other. See, this is where I'm hurt. This is what this conduct of yours was something which was not acceptable, and there you went wrong if you have behaved in this manner. So that amicable talk is missing, you know. And once you become an advocate, if you go to you're on road, your car collides with somebody, you'll come out, hey, what happened? Because that band is there in your neck, that lawyer thinking, tune meri gaadi ko. So mediation brings you on ground, because being an advocate, you become vocal about me, right, I'm right. How can you even say anything to a lawyer and an advocate? But mediation keeps you grounded, respectful. Colleges, commercial disputes, consumer disputes, family disputes. Many family, even once you know about mediation, if your uncle, your aunt, they are fighting, your sister is fighting with you, or maybe in your relation, your cousin are fighting, you'll say, okay, I'll come, I know mediation, I will be able to do that. So in family disputes, you can help really if you know what is mediation. Divorcing couples, till the time they don't reach to a mutual agreement, they're fighting against each other. And sometimes then there are kids involved. They're unable to decide on co-parenting. The welfare of a kid is completely on side. So this is one way where you can, as mediation advocate, you can deal with these prenuptial agreements. In many countries, we have prenuptial agreements. So what to write in those agreements, what negotiations, what terms you have to incorporate. So mediation teaches you through this assisted negotiation process that how a party through the process come out to various terms of settlement, how they craft, revise, review, and how they incorporate, which is okay with both. So drafting a contract, negotiation agreement, or any agreement really needs patience, needs some skill, which mediation teaches you. Housing sector. You have builders, you have buyers, RERA. Why they have come up with facilitation? Because they don't want them to linger into court. So housing sector, if you're residing in a housing society, you have sometimes problem with the lift operator, electrician, then you have water tank problems, then you have parking problems with your neighbors. You don't have to go to court. You don't have to engage a lawyer. If you know something about mediation, you will be able to help them. You don't need an official appointment as a mediator, but you will get guided as to how you can get this resolution done. Government departments have their ombudsman, they appoint, who investigate and recommend solutions, how it can be decided. Contract negotiation managers. Firms are appointing contract negotiation. It's a craft. To draft a negotiation contract is really an art. So which you can gather only with passage of time. Appraiser, examiners, claim adjuster for those insurance claim, negligence cases, whether this claim is feasible, whether he is entitled to this much of a claim, whether the policy which they signed has the clause which allowed them to go in for this. Policy analyst, various public policies. If you have a bend, you have a mind towards dispute resolution, you can get public policy framed in a manner which leads to less of friction between the society. So you can analyze the repercussion of a public policy. Analyst, then fact finders. Fact finders are many times employed by mediators and by arbitrators to look into the facts of the case, make a synopsis as to what are the facts, evaluate them on the basis of documents. International disputes. It has its own significance after Singapore Convention, to which India is now a signatory. And I just noticed outside the board, India became signatory to international, this Singapore Convention on mediation on 7th August 2000. If I'm right, it was 2019. And 7th August happens to be the birthday of the founder of this great institution, Mr. O.P. Jindal. I saw there on the board. So that it came in my mind. So that's another one. Coincidence. So it has its own beauty, international arena. Only thing what you have to choose, I'll guide you, is that you have to choose which field you have to go in for, whether it's intellectual property, copyrights, patents, whether it's property disputes, any field, whether it's banking, finances, you have to choose a particular stream. If you want to enhance yourself to be known, an advocate who is keen with peaceful resolution of a dispute. So you will make your mark once you yourself get your focused also, that I want to, yes, mediation, participating in mediation is fine, but it will always help you that if you focus on a particular line, family disputes, you can, company matters, you'll have housing matters, maybe anything. As a mediator in court, we are always asked which kind of matters would you like to mediate. So I always prefer family disputes, family matters, property matters. So I chose this because I know that there is a law behind this and I am equipped with that law. So I'll be able to do justice towards my duty of rendering services as mediator. So what you go and gain from mediation? Communication. Your communication with your clients improve. You know what exactly they are wanting. You ask them to express. Your communication with your opposite side improves. If you want to, you can outside court also, when you meet, you can greet them, you can discuss, okay, let's finish it off. Even during presentations, while even presenting an argument, you would become aware as to when to speak, what not to speak, and how to speak. This mediation teaches you. And if many times we read a judge, whether judge is in our favor or not, whether the argument presented by opposite side was taken well noted by a judge, we make a note, oh, that argument came and judge made a note, that means he is inclined towards that. So that reading of body language, so that comes in with mediation. Experience, yes, every profession needs experience. Benefits, we've said you get benefit, you get noticed by your friends, by your colleagues that he's doing wonderfully well. It improves your performance in court. It improves your performance while participating as an advocate in mediation. And side by side, you can deliver in your family also, wherein maybe in your circle you have mediated a matter with simple knowledge on mediation. So that whole thing comes out slowly, slowly, slowly. Bench notices you. Judges do speak about our performance. It improves your presentations. Litigants, if you have a happy client because you've got his case resolved in mediation quickly, with less of money, with less of stress, tension, you have diffused those conflict. So litigant happy, he'll bring you more clients. So it's completely win-win situation. Profession, I've said every profession. Why I'm saying this is because knowledge of law is not required to resolve every conflict in your life. Even doctors have conflict in their life, in their personal life, in their hospital setups, in their nursing homes they have. But that does not need litigation. If there is someone sitting there as third person, neutral person who can help them mediate and talk and facilitate, that's fine. But if you're aware of 40 hours techniques and all skills, you yourself will be better as a person while dealing with your own conflict with the other person. So chartered accountants, architects, everybody in daily life, there have been research wherein many professionals have said in USA that our own profession away from advocacy has improved. We have become a successful professional because of our knowledge with mediation, because of mediation, because less tension we have at home. We are dealing with our own conflicts in a better manner. We perform better outside in our profession. And in our profession, when there is a conflict with someone there or amongst anyone, we are able to render that peace building. So what you should do, it's a nascent stage for you. As I said, when I joined mediation, it was quite late in profession when I joined mediation. So it's very early for you. A word of caution which I'll say is, at the moment, mediation, let that be one of your dream, to have a career in mediation. A word of caution to you. I don't want, maybe I'm sounding little negative, but that is only for you, because right now what is essential for you is to pick your knowledge in law. You will render your service as an advocate or a lawyer only if you are equipped with legal education. But only thing which I am requesting is have a mindset of peace building, dispute resolution. Then you will look for a ways and means in the field which you choose. If you're going in a firm, you're specializing in commercial matters, you will look for a ways whether we should go for mediation, whether we can have a peace building here. So word of caution is, career in mediation takes time. It will open doors, bigger doors for you, but it will help you at the moment as a student, as a child, as a brother, as a sister at home, as a friend in college, as a student, and maybe outside world with your relationship. And when you'll come out as an advocate, perform your duties in court, it will enhance your advocacy. It will make you a better advocate. And mind it, you'll realize it when after this 5 years, you'll go and you'll present your matter. But before that, if you voluntarily just go to any institution, see, we have court and ex mediations for advocate, we have 40 hours training. Outside, there are many institutions who are offering 40 hours certificate course. They are offering. So please enroll yourself. Many of them are offering at a very good fee also, which is not heavy on your pocket. If you have an extra time in June after your exams in May, please pick up from internet, look for an institute, which is association, which is offering a 40 hours, because they will teach you life skills. You'll pick it up from there. You will imbibe them in your day-to-day practice, even while you're doing law. What to say after law, you'll realize then. So once you are aware, you can organize, just make it a playground. You can organize awareness camps on mediation, be a coordinator, organize workshop, pick up a topic, negotiation, only on facilitation, power of listening. Just organize workshop. It will lubricate your mind and enhance your knowledge about this concept. Not necessarily that after 40 hours there is nothing. As of now, there are institutions like here also we have LLM. I was told by Akanksha. We have other colleges, we have MNLU, they are offering masters in mediation. That's there. But those are legal knowledge, those are just basic skills, knowledge which you have to imbibe. But mediation is through practice. You know, just adopt them in your day-to-day life. I want to keep yourself updated with law. This mediation does not mean that you stop researching on updated laws. Keep yourself updated with latest developments in our field, because if you want to be a successful lawyer, that's your first choice. Join courses, there are specialized workshops on internet. As I said, there are workshops on different segments of mediation. You can choose them, that will help you. So friendly word of caution, already I have said, LLB first, be an advocate, choose a stream, make yourself an expert in that, learn your mediation advocacy. When you're going in mediation, what is your role? What would be your role to perform during mediation? You will come to know that it's completely a role reversal of an advocate. There are doors open for this mediation. So now again, we'll reread this. Viable career, we'll say that viable career with and in mediation. Career in mediation be not an option, but an essential viable professional qualification, not just for lawyers, but I can say a cameraman here, technique, whosoever, electrician here. Please, everybody go through mediation. It will transform you as a person. It will help you in every manner, whatever possible manner it can be. So as we have always say that mediation is an alternative dispute resolution mechanism, I don't want that mediation should just be an option. It should not be an alternate. It should be an essential professional qualification which everybody should take. So that is why I said reread the topic, reread. It should not be an option like an alternate dispute resolution. That's derogatory for this term, to which I'm really passionate. It's completely changed me. If you have an eco insight, if you're a person looking for peace building, there are advocates who say, no, yaar, why settlement? Let's litigate. Fight karte hain, you have a good case. Dreams to them, you have a good case. They give guarantee also. If you want to be that advocate, best of luck, no issues. If you want your clients to get satisfied as early as possible, resolve their disputes, there is one door of mediation, imbibing, advocating. Teaching, it is set. Teaching, it is set for a teacher profession that creates all other profession. I can say this for mediation. Mediation enhances your career path, any occupation, any profession, not just lawyers. So it's for teachers also, but mediation also helps you in many ways. There was an internet mediation instructor who said people from many different professional backgrounds are drawn to the careers in mediation. My students come from law, healthcare, social service, education, human resource. They use that prior knowledge and experience to enhance their practice as mediators. What I'm saying is, we are not saying that you become mediator immediately. 40 hours will make you mediator, but it will give you many other things in other ways also. So dear, just learn skills that enrich every area of your life. This is mediation. Incredibly valuable and transferable skills for virtually every area of work and life. This is what mediation is. Let it be your choice, not an option. And mediation says that I'm not an alternative, I'm the beginning of the new. That is mediation. So this is what mediation. I'll just quickly take 5 minutes. Is there someone there to just? Yeah, there's another PPT. So I was telling you about the qualities which you get once you become a mediator, or what you get when you have a knowledge of mediation. There's another one.
5 minutes. We
Yeah,
want
yeah.
to take questions before
Yes.
the other slide. Can we allow
Just
that?
we can just quickly. We open this. Yes. See, this is what the quality of a mediator. Is it there, Akanksha? No? I have to stop the previous one.
Is it there now?
Yeah. So these are the alphabets. We all know. Earlier it used to be A for apple, B for bat and all. Then with process it changed. Apple means that Apple, Bluetooth and all. But I have a different word for these alphabets. Once you get used to mediation, you become active, accurate, alert, ambitious, analytical, then appreciative. You appreciate the other side also. There are huge qualities: be balanced, bright, calculated. C has so many: compassionate, conciliating, confident. There are many qualities. D has delicate, delightful, demanding, dependable, determined. So it goes on, goes on, goes on till the end. There are so many qualities. Can you get that while with just LLB? No, na. So please go through mediation, take 40 hours, celebrate life with mediation. Mediation is here to stay. It will definitely benefit you. I have not seen yet any side effects of mediation. So please be a mediator, be a peace builder, be a healer in everyone's life. It will improve your own life also. Thank you, dear all. Thank you. Yes.
There are questions in the chat box.
If you can put that across.
So I'm just repeating, there is Sona who's asked, what are the qualifications that one needs to become a court-appointed mediator? And Susan who's asked that you said that you joined mediation quite late. Could you tell us exactly how soon then can someone start working as a mediator?
Yes, thank you for those two very good questions. First is the qualification. That is, I think, 40 hours, which is required, private institution, but that for court annexed, first of all, you have to be an advocate, get yourself enrolled as an advocate. Then there are courts where there are 5-year minimum practice you need to apply for a mediation. They keep coming up with various trainings at regular intervals. So if you fit into that criteria of basic 5 years and then you have your own mark, then they choose you for court annexed mediation. Then you become their panel mediator. So we have in district courts, we have in high court, we have in Supreme Court also. That is court annexed. So 40 hours mediation course is run by MCPC, which is Mediation, Conciliation and Project Committee of our Supreme Court, which gives you 40 hours certified course. After that, yeah. Yes. So that is MCPC 40 hours, we call it, and then you get entitled. So initially when you get 40 hours, you have to sit as co-mediator for 10 or 20 successful or unsuccessful number of mediations to gain experience with the mediator. Then you are marked with independent mediations. This is what is second. Then the second question is why I joined late. So when was this? It was in the year 2010. I was enrolled with bar in 94. So it came quite late in my life. And see, here today I am. I feel myself a blessed person when Jindal has called me to share my views on something, a career, which came quite late in this profession to me. And you people, there is no age to start with mediation. Like we have peer mediations. It's just your keen desire. Whether you're looking for peace building, then there is no age to this. But as a lawyer, private mediation, you can do mediation even now while you're in 4th year, 5th year through any private organization. And you can say that I'm a certified mediator. Get yourself appointed. build network, build relationship, get clients. Maybe by the time when you're out of this law, you already have a roaring practice as a mediator. People will come and say, oh, yeah, this is an established mediator. Let's go to him. He will be able to resolve. So by then, so there is no age, but yes, quota next, there are requirements. So any other? Yashika, have I answered bit of your, maybe it's an exploring journey. It's only with passage of time and word of caution, as I've already shared with you, that there are ways and means for you to get yours will. But once you know mediation, then negotiations are there, conciliations are there, contract negotiation, I said, then examiner, investigator, analyst. They're very, very varied streams which you can tread upon and try. Only after few years of experience, then you'll realize which area to focus. But if in the beginning, if you are choosy, you want to pick up a stream, fine, because only then you'll have a command. But with passage of time, but you cannot after this LLB with 40 years and you can just sit and say, oh, I am a mediator, I am not doing anything. You have to eat also. You have to earn money. Mediation gives you, but there is no confirmation. Yes, many times you don't get cases at all for mediation. Many times you get clients who say, Vakil sahab, chodo yaar, mujhe nahi karna mediation, mediation. I'm going to some other person. He will file a case because I have a case. Why should I talk to that person? You cannot say, Bhaiya, I am a mediator. Listen, there is a possibility of settlement. No. So after all, you are there in this profession to earn. Mediation gives you, but it all depends upon your desire and zeal and your vision, whether how and you can build up your own practice in mediation. People are getting private. Many times client comes to me for private mediation. They do come for family dispute with ethical standards. When we are doing mediation in court, they really praise us the way we are doing. But we don't take clients from the courts, because I'm saying there are the books, ethical books there. People do take clients from mediation centers, mediators, but please don't do that. If you have mediated a matter, if a person comes to you after few years and say, Madam, aapne wo kiya tha to karo, it depends upon person. Many people take after few years, yeah, okay, it's okay, ethics ho gaya, theek hai. Now I can be a lawyer also. But then there are, ethics has, it's a personal choice of everyone. Private mediation, yes. So I'll repeat myself, maybe what I'm saying in private mediation, first of all, you have to have that basic certificate course from any good institution. You can research, that's your choice. Then only you can write on your card that you are a certified mediator, because nobody outside would say, oh, from this institution. People hardly know, but every institution has its credibility. One is that if you have a good circle, spread a word about that you are a mediator, so people will appoint you. Or you can go and sit with clients there. If you have joined a senior, you go with a senior, participate in mediation. There you can exhibit yourself. When you give suggestions, when you look into the strength and weakness, your senior will identify, yeah, that this my junior has that potential. So next time he'll say, beta, you go and participate in mediation. So you have to work upon this. If workshops are there, if you, through workshop, awareness programs, organizing seminars, you make your presence felt to the society that there is this person who is a mediator, who loves mediating, who can help us amicable resolution. So establish yourself, market yourself. Yeah, Gauri.
Yeah, I have a very big question. I just wanted to ask, when we talk about mediation, and as law students, we take a lot of importance in internships, and usually we are running for the top legal internships. And do you think there is a utility for us as law students in sort of diversifying our internship, sort of the experience and the value we get out of internships, by also looking into returning in firms that focus on mediation?
Yes.
Other such alternate vendors to this?
Yes, see, you can, it's again, I'm saying it's your choice. It's your choice while you're doing internship for an active litigation practice, whether you want to be in a firm for simple job as a legal advisor, solicitor, or whether you want to in within that organization. Even see, these law firms also have disputes between their own people. If you are known to them as somebody who is skilled in mediation, they may employ you and they may make you a manager, facilitation manager in their firm. Any government organization can take you. So get yourself exposed to mediation in internship also. It's your choice, preference, no forcing, but it should come from within. If your basic nature is, I always say that why mediation is a passion to me, because I always believed that relationships are here to stay. Snapping a relationship and going goodbye, saying goodbye to a relationship is just this. But building an relationship takes a lot of patience, lot of effort, and there is a bond connect there. So if you are a person in that direction, you will love mediation. And then tomorrow you will come and say, Madam, see today, you know what happened? Without even 40 hours, with just listening communication, which we heard from our friends and from you, the other day my friends were fighting. I helped them resolve it. Madam, see how it helped us. You will realize when you'll go out of this conference room, in the evening, you'll start listening and understanding each other, empathetic understanding, some stepping into the shoes of a person, why a person is taking a particular stand, which we are missing in our life because we are tuned here as advocate who is there to argue, but it's completely different argument. No, mediation has no space, no chair for argument. Yes, Gauri, is that okay? Yeah, thank you. Fine. Okay. So thank you all. Wishing you best of luck in life. Just prosper. Just keep doing good in life with all ethics. Whenever you need my helpline number, I can leave to Sakshi. Just keep blooming. Our blessings to you. There's so much outside in court. We'll see you there. It's not actually a black and white world. It's full of beautiful colors. There are many buildings, many doors, which will be wide open for you with open arms to just dive and drive through various streams. Yes. Yes. Yes, community mediation. Yes. Correct. Correct. Yes. Yes. Correct.
What do you see and how do you see this bill helping us build up maybe apart from being an act?
Yes, see, this bill will give a sanctity and recognition to mediation, because when you talk to Aam Aadmi about mediation, they still feel, yeah, till the time we don't have a stamp of a court order or decree, that means it's not going to survive for a long. So they don't have a belief in mediation. Settlement reached through mediation. So mediation bill will give a platform, a stature to settlements through mediation process, sanctity to the uniform of a mediator. Yes, mediators are here to deliver. So it's all giving recognition to something which we've been otherwise doing. Whatever we have gained today, whatever recognition mediation has gained today, it is contribution of everyone, bar, bench, litigants. Everybody has contributed. This mediation bill will definitely bring it to a different platform. And when we have law minister like Mr. Kiran Rijiju, we have our Chief Justice of India, Justice Ramanna, who are in favor of mediation negotiation. And even they have said about arbitration. So it's here to stay. It's here to stay. Thank you. Yeah.
You must be so tired.
No, but I can now I can read from your body language. You're looking through your watches, madam. Bus karo na yaar, please. But it happens. Okay, chalo. But it was really wonderful sitting with you all. And thanks to all who are there online with us. My mentors, I can see Jawad sir is there. So my salute to him. He's participated, he's there with us all through. Whatever I am here, it is because of our mentors. So be a learner, have mentors in your life. No limit. Sky is the limit. Best wishes. Best wishes.
Thank you so much for this inspiring talk. And I'll just sum it up by saying that this is what we are trying to do, to create a culture in our university that disputes are not just resolved by adjudication, but also through conciliatory means. And that is our, not just the ADR society, but the whole university. We're trying to build a culture. Thank you for contributing to that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We have a small token and it's personalized for you. We hope you remember your,
I remember
your brief.
these beautiful faces.
Thank you. And we hope to see you
And
again.
I love students as backbenchers because I've been all my life backbenchers. So I really we've let these two front rows here keep doing that because backbenchers will definitely travel a long way in life. They'll rise.
Thank you again. Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you.
Akansha, I'm leaving the meeting.